Letting go is not losing. It's gaining clarity. In life, we often hold on to things, people, or situations because we believe they define us. We think that if we let go, we will fall apart. But the truth is, we don't fall apart when we let go. We fall into place. Letting go is not about weakness. It's about wisdom. It's about recognizing that holding on is costing more than it's giving. It's about understanding that peace matters more than pride and growth matters more than staying the same. Letting go doesn't strip us of our value. It strips us of illusions that block our vision. Many times, we confuse persistence with purpose. We keep chasing a goal because we started it, even though it no longer aligns with who we've become. We stay in situations out of habit, not happiness. But clarity only comes when we have the courage to release what no longer reflects our future. The longer we hold on to something that's fading, the longer we delay what's meant to be. Sometimes we must step back, not because we are giving up, because we are waking up. We begin to see the truth on. Not everything or everyone is meant to go with us to the next level. Clarity doesn't come in the noise of holding on. It comes in the silence that follows release. Once the grip loosens, once the fear is faced, a stillness enters. And in that stillness, we see what we were too distracted to notice before. We begin to understand why things didn't work out the way we planned. We see that the delay was protection, the closed door was direction, and the ending was a necessary beginning. Letting go clears the path. It removes the fog. It lets light shine on areas we've been avoiding. The very act of release opens space for insight. When we let go, we're not giving up our power. We're reclaiming it. We stop trying to control what was never ours to control. We shift our energy from fixing to flowing. We become less focused on what went wrong and more open to what's possible. Letting go teaches us to stop arguing with reality. It invites us to accept what is rather than force what isn't. And in that acceptance, we find freedom. Clarity doesn't arrive with a shout. It whispers in the quiet aftermath of surrender. It waits patiently for us to stop fighting. Letting go isn't something that happens all at once. It's a process. It starts with the decision to stop pretending, to stop covering up pain with excuses, to stop shrinking ourselves to fit into something that's no longer meant for us. We begin by being honest with ourselves first. We admit that we're tired of holding on to what hurts. We realize that our loyalty to the past is costing our future. We understand that clarity isn't found in forcing answers. It's found in freeing ourselves from what's not aligned. Every time we let go of what blocks us, we make room for what builds us, new ideas, new strength, new vision. Clarity is not about having all the answers. It's about finally asking the right questions. It's about understanding that some things are not to break us, but to break us open. Letting go doesn't erase the memories. It doesn't cancel the effort. It simply says, I choose to live forward, not backward. There is power in the pause that follows release. In that moment, you learn to see through different eyes. You start noticing who supports you and who drains you. You start feeling the difference between peace and pressure. You start realizing that the clarity you've been searching for was never missing. It was just hiding behind what you were afraid to let go of. You stop living in reaction and start living in intention. So no, letting go is not losing. Losing is staying stuck in something that no longer fits. Losing is betraying yourself to please others. Letting go is the opposite of that. It's growth, it's vision, it's strength, it's trust. And above all, it's clarity, the kind that only comes when we stop forcing what's fading and start embracing what's next. The weight you drop is the strength you build. Life has a way of filling our hands with responsibilities, expectations, attachments, and memories that we carry for years without question. We carry burdens that were never meant to be ours. We hold on to opinions that don't reflect who we really are. We carry regrets like backpacks filled with bricks. And over time, we wonder why we feel so heavy, so tired, so stuck. It's not because we're not capable. It's because we're overpacked with things that limit our movement, cloud our judgment, and block our growth. Letting go of that weight isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of maturity. It's the moment we realize that strength isn't built by carrying more, but by knowing what no longer deserves space in our lives. We live in a world that glorifies hustle, grind, and always pushing through. But pushing through with the wrong load doesn't lead to success. It leads to burnout. True strength is not just about endurance. It's about discernment. It's about knowing when to hold on and when to release. When we drop the unnecessary weight, whether it's fear, guilt, doubt, or the need for approval, we create room to rise. Like a balloon cutting loose its sandbags, we lift higher. We feel lighter. We move faster. And most importantly, we begin to breathe again. Some of the strongest people you'll ever meet are not ones who carried the most, but the ones who had the courage to let go. To say, this no longer serves me. This pain no longer defines me. This person no longer respects me. This habit no longer helps me. Strength is built not just in the fight, but in the freedom. Every time you let go of something that limits your light, you grow in ways you never thought possible. You make space for your own voice, your own peace, your own direction. Letting go doesn't weaken your foundation. It rebuilds it. It allows you to rediscover who you are without the labels and expectations placed on you by others. It shows you that you don't have to carry your past to walk into your future. You begin to understand that not everything you've picked up along the way belongs with you forever. Some experiences were meant to teach you, not follow you. Some people were meant to pass through, not stay. Some battles were meant to shape you, not scar you. Dropping the weight is how you honor that lesson. We all have emotional weights we carry. Grudges, disappointments, old stories we keep telling ourselves about who we are and what we deserve. These weights aren't visible, but they're real. They slow our progress. They cloud our confidence. And the longer we carry them, the more they start to feel like part of us. But they're not. And the moment we set them down, we feel a shift. We start to see that our true strength was never in carrying it all. It was in choosing what matters most. Strength isn't found in resistance to change. It's found in adapting with purpose. It's found in trusting that when you release what's holding you back, you gain what lifts you up. You gain clarity. You gain peace. You gain focus. You gain alignment. There is a quiet power in letting go that most people never experience because they're too afraid to release what's familiar. But when you do, you begin to understand just how powerful you are. You begin to trust yourself more. You begin to walk taller, speak clear, and act braver. Sometimes we carry things because we think we have to. We carry the expectations of others. We carry the weight of proving ourselves. But the truth is, the only approval you need is your own. The only person you have to prove any to is the version of yourself that knows you were meant for more. And to reach that version, you have to travel light. You have to choose courage over comfort. You have to be willing to drop the weight, even if you're not sure what comes next. That moment of letting go becomes a turning point. Not because everything changes instantly, because you do. You begin to realize that every pound you let go of, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, is a pound of strength gained in clarity, resilience, and freedom. You're no longer dragging what was. You're now stepping into what could be. And that is the strength that transforms not just your journey, but your destiny. Growth begins where comfort ends. As long as we remain in our comfort zones, we live within limits. These zones are safe, familiar, and predictable. but they are also confining. They are like invisible walls that we build to protect ourselves from failure, rejection, and uncertainty. Inside them, we feel secure, but we are not free. We are not challenged. We are not evolving. Real growth does not happen in places where everything is easy. It happens in the uncomfortable moments, the unfamiliar experiences, and the situations that stretch us beyond what we thought we were capable of. There's a point in life when comfort begins to feel like a cage. We stop growing not because we lack potential, but because we've settled for routine. We choose the known path over the unknown possibility. But comfort, when held onto for too long, turns into complacency. It slowly dulls our passion, silences our ambition, and keeps us from becoming the person we're meant to be. Growth asks more of us. It calls us into rooms we don't feel ready for. It pushes us into conversations we're afraid to have. It invites us to take risks that carry no guarantees. And it's in those moments, when our hearts race and our doubts scream, that transformation begins. The challenge is that stepping outside of comfort feels like losing control. We don't like uncertainty. We want to know what comes next, how things will turn out, and if we'll be okay. But growth doesn't come with a blueprint. It requires trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust that discomfort is a necessary part of elevation. If everything stayed the same, you'd stay the same. And if you stay the same, you miss the chance to become who you were truly meant to be. Every person who has ever achieved anything meaningful has had to walk through discomfort to get there. Discomfort isn't the enemy, it's the doorway. It's the space between who you are and who you can become. When you face fear, you learn courage. When you endure pressure, you develop strength. When you challenge your own limits, you expand them. The discomfort you feel is not a sign to stop. It's a signal that growth is happening. It means you're in motion. It means you're alive. You're not meant to stay stuck in the same place year after year. You're not meant to shrink your dreams to fit your current reality. You're meant to evolve, and evolution always requires a step into the unknown. There will be moments when the stretch feels like too much, when you question whether you're good enough, strong enough, or ready. But you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to take the next step. Growth doesn't demand perfection. It demands participation. You grow when you show up, even when you're unsure. You grow when you keep going, even when you're afraid. Every time you leave comfort behind, you collect a new piece of yourself. You become more aware, more capable, more resilient. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about taking one bold step at a time. Having the courage to say yes when your instinct is to say no. Something nine, choosing change even when you could stay the same. Saying goodbye to what's safe so you can say hello to what's possible. And every step you take in that direction expands your life. The opportunities you never saw before start to appear. The people you're meant to connect with find you. The strength you thought you lacked rises from within. All because you dared to leave the comfort that was keeping you small. Growth is uncomfortable because it asks you to become someone new. It requires a shift in mindset, a break from old patterns, and a leap of faith. But once you embrace the discomfort, you start to see that it was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to develop you, to bring out parts of you that comfort could never reach. You realize that the version of you that you admire, the life you imagine, the goals you've set, they all exist on the other side of your comfort zone. So when you feel the resistance, when the fear rises, when the path ahead looks uncertain, remember that you're exactly where growth begins. Let it challenge you. Let it teach you. Let it change you. Because every great story, every powerful transformation starts in the same place, just beyond the edge of comfort. Your future demands an open hand, not a closed fist. Holding on tightly to what's behind you may feel like safety, but in reality, it creates resistance. You can't receive anything new when your hands are already full. The future cannot deliver fresh opportunities, relationships, or breakthroughs if your grip is locked on what used to be. We often cling to familiarity, even when it no longer serves us, because it feels easier than facing the unknown. But progress requires release. The open hand is a symbol of trust, readiness, and humility. It says, I am willing to move forward. I am ready to make room for what's next. When we live with a closed fist, we're trying to control everything. We hold on to old stories, past hurts, and outdated dreams. We try to force people to stay, outcomes to happen, and situations to unfold the way we think they should. But control is an illusion. The tighter we grip, the more we lose connection with the flow of life. The most powerful growth comes when we surrender control and allow life to unfold in ways we never imagined. An open hand doesn't mean passivity. It means purpose. It means choosing faith over fear, flow over force, and progress over protection. There's nothing wrong with having a vision or a plan, but the problem comes when we refuse to adapt. Sometimes the door we want to walk through stays closed because it's not meant for us. But we keep knocking, we keep waiting, we keep holding on, we waste energy trying to revive what has already ended. And in doing so, we miss the doors that are opening right beside us. Your future is not built by dragging the weight of yesterday. It's shaped by what you choose to let go of today. Letting go doesn't mean the past wasn't valuable. It means the season has changed, and you're mature enough to recognize it. An open hand invites alignment. It allows you to attract what matches who you're becoming instead of what you've outgrown. The version of you that's clinging to the past is not the version that can handle the future that's waiting. Growth requires shedding. Success requires space. Healing requires surrender. Every time you let go, you give yourself the gift of becoming lighter, freer, and more focused. You stop surviving and start creating. You stop replaying and start rebuilding. You stop looking back and start looking ahead. The process of opening your hand begins with honesty. You have to ask yourself, what am I still holding on to that's holding me back? What am I afraid to release because I don't know what will replace it? What if the thing I'm gripping so tightly is the very thing preventing the breakthrough I've been praying for? These are hard questions, but necessary ones, because the future doesn't wait. It requires your participation, your willingness, your openness. The greatest opportunities in life rarely come to those who are clenching the past. They come to those who are courageous enough to make room for them. Sometimes the hardest part is not knowing what comes next. We want certainty. We want to feel secure before we leap. But transformation doesn't come with a guarantee. It comes with a decision to believe that something better lies ahead, a decision to trust that you won't fall, you'll rise. Every time you open your hand, you take back your power. You say, I'm not stuck. I'm not defined by what was. I'm choosing what will be. That shift in mindset is what separates those who stay in cycles from those who step into calling. An open hand also means open heart, open mind, open spirit. It means releasing the need to have all the answers. It means becoming a student of life again. It means being willing to start over, to begin again, to explore paths you never considered. Your future will not look like your past. It's meant to be greater, deeper, more aligned with who you're truly meant to be. But you won't get there by dragging what no longer fits. You get there by letting go of what was and embracing what is possible. So take a breath, loosen the grip, trust the timing, trust yourself, open your hand to let go, and open your life to let in. The future is not something that arrives by accident. It is something you create one brave release at a time.